What's up, guys? You know who it is, Curry Ninja MMA. Terrible lighting, a bad nights of bets for many people, including myself. You know, just if people are looking for locks, lines rolling down. But you know, even personal stuff. I'm sure if you're going through personal things too, you can get through that when life gives you lemons. You can get some make some cowboy lemonade. There you go. If you don't know what that is, go ahead and Google that. It's like whiskey and lemonade and some fancy stuff in there. But anyway, don't forget to drink your water too. Don't just be drinking that alcohol. All right. Taking a break of it myself. You know, take these little breaks. You know, try to revive yourself. You know what I mean? Just try to feel better. But anyway, enough of that bull. Let's just get into this. This, as of course, as the title says, Zalal. We got Zalal versus Barrett, man. Peter Barrett. Youssef Zalal, really cool nickname, right? The Moroccan Devil. I've been high on this guy. I liked it when, and if you look at my breakdown video before, you can search it in my channel about Zalal versus Griffin, and I thought that was a good matchup. I thought, even though he was an underdog, I thought it was a really good matchup. Looking at his fights, I like him. He's young. He's making improvements. You know, even if you look at his stuff before the UFC, you think, all right, maybe he's a little wild, maybe he's a little unpolished, but he's making improvements. Even before, I liked what I saw though. Like, I mean, you know, he's got some pressure grappling too. He's not just his stand up is where he really shines, I feel, but he'll grapple with you too. You know, and his cardio is looking good. That's very important. When you see a fighter, you want to see them have cardio, and he's making improvements. These are big check marks for me. The hands are down, but you know, he gets out of the way. You know, you'll see him he'll get out of the way. He has his hands down. Right, you think, okay, maybe his chin's exposed, but he gets out of the way. He likes to circle out of the way. He's pretty good about that, making the guy miss. It's part of his strategy, right? He wants to kind of rely on his cardio and his slicker striking. You know, I like that. You know, good jabs, like those 1-2s. He doesn't land with a bunch of power. You know, he just wants to kind of, you know, piece you up a little bit, get you frustrated, and then he'll disguise a 1-2 and he'll throw a flying knee. Of course, you know, kind of reminds me of a little bit, kind of like Trailblazer, who was, you know, of course, unfortunately on this past card, wasn't able to fight because Trevin Giles pulled out because of fainting in the background. Damn, it's messed up. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. But I feel like Zalal, I feel like he's younger. He's not as reckless. Like, he doesn't have, you know, he still has his hands down and all that, but it helps because that's why it helps him have some pretty decent takedown defense as well. You know, that's what the hands are down. And of course, his shots are not telegraphed, which is really good too. You know, I like it. And he can get pressured against the cage, but he'll kind of wait. He smiles, talks to the commentary, even, which of course, you know, Trailblazer does that too, right, Holland? Like, he'll kind of do that. Although maybe Holland messes around a little bit too much, but I think Zalal, he actually he'll reverse it on you. You know, he's okay grappling with you a bit, right? He's pretty well rounded. Of course, I think his bread and butter, or rather where he shines most, is on the feet, and his cardio is looking really good. But so I mean, of course, the Baneline, man, if you look at it, it's that way for a reason. Gosh dang it, he's like at least a -340, and it's probably gonna get even more. I saw some things like, you know, 340, what was it, like 3, and it went all the way to like 370 or something. I don't know, it's going crazy. We're going to see that man come in. Peter Barrett, real cool, right? Slick beat, really cool. I mean, cool nickname. He's apparently a bartender, and when he was going on the contender series, I guess they were like pulling in money for him to like help for his, you know, like he had a raffle or something at the bar that he bartends, and so he could have a good training camp. But you saw him in the contender series versus Sung Hoon Yu, and Yu just looked like a bigger guy. He's like 6 foot, and this was at 150, and he was 156 pounds. So this fight, you know, usually they're gonna go a weight class down. I think Peter Barrett is probably more suited towards that, maybe. I mean, he seemed a little bit undersized. I mean, he was like what, 154.5 or something like that pounds, and they sometimes list him at 5'9", but I think he's like 5'10". I believe he's about the same as Zalal. Like, the frame kind of matches up. Same as in Zalal's matchup to Griffin, similar. They were same height, right? Like about 5'10" or so, you know, with 145 pounds. And Zalal, I think, yeah, what was it, like 72, 73 inch reach? I think Peter Barrett, I'm sorry, will have the reach and the height will be about the same. So sometimes you see 5'9", but I've seen him listed as 5'10" as well. So we'll see. But I believe they're frame-wise, I think they're similar. I think it's just that. If you wanted to, I think maybe Barrett's a slightly stockier guy, and maybe Zalal looks like a bit leaner kind of guy, lankier, leaner kind of guy. But he definitely seemed, Barrett seemed, you know, undersized against you. He was 6 foot. You know, I mean, the frame was just different. I mean, not a huge guy, but just in shape. You know, true 155er. You know, I think, yeah, just. But anyway, like, I think, you know, I mean, with Yu's, like, has a wushu background. I mean, you could see it right away. You know, the difference was there. I mean, the kicks, the knees, the tie clinch, man. I mean, overall striking just seemed way slicker than Peter Barrett's. Peter Barrett kind of trades wins and losses, and he's 33 coming into this. I mean, got this win in the contender series over you, but got a unanimous decision, but man, that first round, he was just getting pieced up. I mean, the striking difference was just, I mean, Yu's striking was on a whole nother level than Peter, man. It just, but like I said, this is the story of it. The number one thing people say, I mean, there's skills. They say, okay, for a base for MMA, for a base for fighting, you want to have wrestling, maybe, right? That's a better skill. Peter Barrett seems to like a lot of pressure and grappling and pressure against the fence and stuff. That's where he seems to shine. But the number one thing, if you have an attribute, if you want to call it that, would be cardio. It doesn't matter, like they say, if you have the greatest skills in the world, you could be a great wrestler, a great striker, but if you don't have the cardio, it won't matter because, of course, and I'm just telling you common sense stuff, right? Of course, maybe the first round looks good, but your skill level will decline as you get tired. As you're more tired, those punches don't have as much pop to them. They're coming more telegraphed. They're labored. Everything. But anyway, this is a story of the fight. So we're seeing what Peter brings to the table. How he can win this. I mean, takes him down. Even he takes him down. He's got side control, raining down some ground and pound, and Peter's in a bad position. Popped out. Credit to him. But I mean, the thing is, the reason why he popped out was because basically you transitioned to a armbar attempt. Which, Barrett showed his toughness, man. He still got out of it. It looked locked in, man. That looked like deep, like it was gonna hurt him. But he was landing shots, and Peter's just like, he answers with uppercuts. What I like is like, because when he wants to do a dirty box. He wants to get in close. If he's maybe not the rangier guy, he wants to kind of get in there and land an uppercut. And he did land a couple to the body and maybe one to the head as well. But like, he would eat a lot of shots to answer that back. It's just like he was outlanding heavily, and I think like. Peter wants to clinch against the cage, right? Peter lands, good right on the break. He'll find his timing. He wants to grind you out. He'll take some shots, okay, but he'll try to answer back. It's just I don't feel like the output is not quite there. On the second round, Barrett is in a good spirit, so he's smiling. I mean, like this guy, he's happy to have this opportunity, and I feel like that's why he's gotten this opportunity. He won on the Contender Series. But I mean, I feel like you want to see a guy come into UFC earlier than that. You don't want to see him coming in at 33, and he's a bartender. Like he's working while trying to, train and stuff. And it's like you see his record's not against the highest level, so I can see why maybe he's a big underdog here. You land some knees, and Peter answers with his own. It's good. You could tell you was just when you're trying to throw kicks and do, you're trying to grab, you're trying to armbar on this guy. You're throwing everything but the kitchen sink, and this guy's still there. It just showed Yu's conditioning is just not there. He's there to look really great on the feet, and he wants to kind of like piece you up. But after that first round, like his cardio just declines heavily. And Peter still's in it, and Peter's getting tired too because grappling takes time. You could tell he was looking tired. He just looked a lot less tired than you, right? And Yu defends, breaks away, because they always want to clinch up, right? Peter wants to clinch up. He doesn't like he wants a dirty box, but he knows it's not. Especially against like some kind of crazy wushu fighter like that. When you have a background, the kicks, the way they were landing is just. And I feel like Zalal's going to have that. I think it's going to spell trouble. I mean, his striking game is just going to be a lot crisper than Peter Barrett's. Okay, so that's why. And then, so you think, okay, he's tough. He's just afraid, he wins it. Like, if you look in when you had in the second round, so we already had that first round done. The second round's going, right? A minute 32 left, so the second round's almost finished. You had, in the first round, 60 strikes, and against Barrett's 37 strikes. So, almost twice the amount. He was landing almost twice the amount, right? Still showing that at least Barrett, I mean, he had some success in the clinch, right? He would try to land a little bit, but I mean, I think Yu's had more, not only more, but also just more pop to shots. Round 2, you can see it decline though. Yu's only landing like 12, and Barrett's landing 26. You can just see the cardio there. He's just standing. It's not that he's getting better as the fight goes, it's just that he's consistent. You know what I mean? So Peter finally gets a double leg. I think it's just because Yu's so spent, and like, against the cage, use some dirty boxing, which I like. He wants to kind of grind it up, but they go back to stand-up. It's always able to like separate, and I think Zalal will be able to do that too. I think he's not gonna just let you kind of work on him. He will. It'll be maybe you can kind of get his back. Maybe you kind of push him against the cage, but he'll wait. Eventually, he'll kind of reverse it. He'll land. Maybe try to do his own submission. Maybe he'll try to grapple with you a little bit. They get to feet. Watch, repeat. I think Zalal is just gonna have that. And I was kind of it was a close fight though. I think the unanimous decision. Looking at that, I think the thing is, I mean, it could go either way. If you had won that, I mean, it's hard to give it to you because in that matchup, because there's a Contender Series, they're like, okay, who deserves to be in the UFC? When you don't have the cardio there, I mean, the striker is a whole nother level, and even the grappling too. In the first round, I mean, this looked like almost a mismatch. Yu's just skill level. I think grappling and striking, especially striking, would just look like on another level. Doesn't matter. Peter's a grinder. His cardio is better. You did not have the cardio to do that. No. Could not survive 3 rounds. He's a 1-round fighter, basically, right? This is you guy. The striking looked great, and it was too bad, though. I mean, the striking really impressed me. Good frame for the division. But, you know, yeah, Garrett just showed. Freaking Peter Barrett, he just shows it. Like, I had more like notes here, actually. But he, you know, I mean, look, in total, like, so you, the significant, as far as significant strikes, get this, is like at the end of the fight. 52 for you, 51 for Barrett. Interesting, because it just seemed like he was outlining him. I mean, but significant, though. I guess so, but I mean, and then takedowns, of course, this is the story of the fight. Barrett gets 7 takedowns versus Hughes 1. As far as stand-ups, I mean, but Hughes was able to stand up 5 of those times. And Barrett wasn't able to stand up after that attempt to get taken down. So, I mean, that's the story of it. And the takedowns won it for him. He had more takedowns, he grinded them out. He was a fresher fighter in there. I just don't feel like that kind of game plan. I mean, if you think about it, okay, again, if you can shut down the striking of Zalal, what are you going to have? But I just don't see it happening. I think, you know, Griffin wasn't able to do it, and Griffin likes to do his submissions, and he was like looked like a physically more imposing guy. I mean, they were similar frames, though, but I feel like Barrett's physicality is not going to be, he's going to be evenly matched. He's not going to be able to overpower Zalal. I feel like Zalal's definitely going to be on another level as far as striking, and Zalal does have the cardio. We've seen that he has the cardio to go 3 rounds, still look good. I think this will we'll get the unanimous decision going to Zalal. And this money line, though, damn, man, these favorites, it's like everyone's just trying to like get the lock, right? And it's like you're gonna see that money line go. But I feel like, yeah, put them in a parlay, or man, these underdogs. I'm telling you, man, you could be making just sprinkling some on a bunch of underdogs. You'll lose some, win some, but I mean, I feel like maybe you'll make more profit than just going for these quote unquote locks who end up burning your parlays. But I gotta go for Zalal. No, everything I've seen. Gotta go for it. Good luck, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I know this went on a little too long, but you know, I try to just give you know, my full thoughts of the matchup. So, peace out, guys, and take care.